The title gives you a clue that it's completely wrong because it has a goofy acronym in the title, and the way that it tries to nominally help businesses is by setting up a number of hurdles that they have to jump through to justify getting a tax credit, and then potentially lose that tax credit at any point in the next 3 years and pay that back. And if they don't keep the employee that they hire this year for 3 years, and if you're laying off people, if you're not able to keep that person around for 3 years, the last thing you can afford to do is pay back $1,000 to the government. And if you're hiring somebody based on the promise of $1,000 over 3 years, are you really making a good business decision in the first place? So this has no impact on hiring, no impact on the economy, and it's just a PR stunt.
Some people will say, hey, we need the jobs. The government is going to give money to businesses that create jobs. What could be wrong with that?
Well, the only way that a government can give money to a business is by taking it from someplace else, especially in North Carolina. We can't borrow money like the federal government does. We can't print money like the federal government does. So there are other businesses that are paying for this tax credit to these businesses. The best way to help all businesses and the economy in North Carolina is to reduce spending and lower the tax burden on everybody.
You mentioned those are the keys. How important is it for the General Assembly to stop looking at the gimmicks and to look toward these broad-based changes?
Well, it's extremely important for the legislature to focus on broad-based changes, because one of the things with the gimmicks is that a lot of what these gimmicks rely on is federal money that potentially could disappear next year. And then we're going to be right back in the same position we were this year. And if we're relying on gimmicks to get through this year, and next year when we have even less money available, those gimmicks aren't going to be available, and then there's going to be some really hard choices to be made. So it's easier to make those hard choices now than to put them off into the future.